Hello and welcome back. I am going to create new database instance in RDS. So here I just selected standard create, selected MySQL database engine. Now when you scroll down here in the deployment options, you are having three options. First, single DB instance. We already discussed about this. Then multi-AZ, also done. Now today, in this video, we are going to talk about multi-AZ DB cluster. This is one of the new feature and it is really very interesting because when AWS is going to release any new feature, after 6 months, they keep asking questions related to this particular new feature. So, as a student, you will aware about all these facilities provided by RDS. So, please understand this properly because there are chances that you may get question related to this. Okay, so let's start. Hello and welcome. I hope you are enjoying our AWS series. We have big plan to add Azure series, even videos for each and every DevOps technologies. But for this, we want some support from you guys. You can support us by only doing two things. First, subscribe to this channel. And yes, only subscribe to this channel if you are thinking that this videos is actually giving you some values. It will help you to pass any AWS exam like AWS Cloud Practitioner, Solution Architect Associate, or even Solution Architect Professional. Second thing is, share these videos with other IT professionals. Learning process is actually not expensive. If you are getting better or proper instructor or a mentor, it will really help you to develop your skill. If you are thinking that we are providing you a proper right path to improve your skill, your friends also deserve this, right? And for this, you have to share this channel videos with them. So, I am just requesting you to do these two tasks for me. One, subscribe to our channel and share with other IT professionals. Thank you. Now you can continue your video. As always, we are going to start with mind map. Now here I have point number 3, multi-AZ DB cluster. We are going to start with introduction. Multi-AZ DB cluster deployment is semi-synchronous high availability deployment mode for Amazon RDS with 2 readable replica DB instance. Now, it is actually providing you high availability with performance benefit. Here, you are having 3 database instance. With single DB instance, we have only 1. For multi-AZ, we have 2. But with multi-AZ DB cluster, we have 3 database instance into the 3 different availability zone. Now, you may have one question over here that why you are using this word semi-synchronous here. I will tell you about this. I just want you to remember this word because in upcoming section, I'm going to explain you about it, okay? With multi-AZ DB cluster has a writer DB instance and 2 reader DB instance into the 3 separate availability zone in the same AWS region. Here, we have 3 instances, means it is really more expensive than multi-AZ. And same way, it is actually providing us better high availability because we have our DB instance into the multiple availability zone. It is not only providing us high availability, but it is also providing us performance benefit. Single DB instance, there is no high availability, no performance benefit. With multi-AZ, we have high availability for sure, but there is no performance benefit because it is having only one primary instance and another instance into another availability zone is always standby instance. So we don't have performance benefit here when we are using multi-AZ. But with multi-AZ DB cluster, we have performance benefit as well. Multi-AZ DB cluster provide high availability, increase capacity of read workload, and lower write latency when compared to multi-AZ DB instance. So it is better. Now we have to understand how this particular option is actually working, so you can understand this line with a better way. So here I have this picture. Now let's understand this. First of all, we have deployment structure. A multi-AZ DB cluster in Amazon includes one writer DB instance. This is a main database where all the write operations happen. It is also handles read operation. Writer can handle read operations. Okay, so it is having dual facilities, writer plus reader. Two reader DB instance, this structure is fixed. There are replicas that only handles read operations. They are placed into the different availability zone to ensure high availability. All three instances, one writer and two readers, are in the different availability zone within the same region, which help you to provide high availability and protect against failure. Now look at this. Here I have this particular picture. Now these are like three availability zone. 1, 2, 3. This is my writer DB instance and these two are reader DB instance. Now, if you have your database, right, your database is actually handling both kind of request. One, write request. And another one is read request. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you are booking your flight. Okay. You have just selected your flight, your destination and everything, and you booked your flight. Let's say that if you are in India, you booked your Indigo airline flight. Now, when you book your flight, when you make payment, this is a confirmed flight booking. So, application needs to write this into the database that Mr. So-and-so confirm his or a ticket and this is like a flight detail and what. So, there will be entry, right, into the flight, into the database. So, it is known as write operation. Now, this write operation will be performed by only writer DB instance and there is only one writer DB instance. Okay, you cannot increase this number. Now, once you booked your flight, now you want to see your flight status, you want to know about your seat number or something. What you will do, you will just check your flight with PNR status. Now here you are not booking new flight. You have your PNR number, you will just send read request. That okay, I have my flight, this is my PNR number, I just want to know my flight status. Now this read request can handle by this one or this one or this one because we have two specifically designated reader DB instance. So they can handle this. Now here we have one question that okay, we understood this, but what are the performance benefit that we are getting? Okay. So let's say that if you have multi-AZ DB, right? I'm talking about multi-AZ DB. Okay. Here I have this. Let's open this picture. See here I have multi-AZ. Okay. Now let's suppose there are 100 requests coming. Okay. 100 requests. Out of 100, 20 requests we have is actually write request. And 80 requests we have is actually read request, right? Now what happened over here? All these 100 requests will go to the primary writer instance. Why? Because this is always in a standby mode. It is actually not going to handle any request. It can be a read or write. It is not going to manage any request because it is actually standby. So all 100 requests will be handled through the primary writer instance only when you have multi-AZ, right? Amazon RDS multi-AZ. Now, here we have different scenario, okay? Let's go to this picture so you can get better idea about it. If we are getting 100 requests here, right? 100 requests here. Again, 20 requests we have is actually write request. So this one will handle that. Okay, I am actually managing write request, so I will manage this. Now this main DB instance who is managing writer instance, write request, only managing 20 requests here. Now we have 80 read requests. it will be divided between these two. So this particular writer instance is managing 20 write requests, and these DB instances are managing only read requests. Now look at this. Whole responsibilities are actually divided between 3 different DB instances. And this will provide you better performance compared to multi-AZ, because in the multi-AZ, you don't have any performance benefit, right? Now, replication process. When data is written to the writer instance, it is copied to the 2 reader instance. Because here we have writer, so all the data will store over here, then the data will be replicated on a real time with the reader instance. This copying process happens almost immediately, ensuring that all the instances have up-to-date data. Write operations are handled by the only writer instance. Read operations are shared among the writer and both reader instances to improve the performance. Okay. Now failover mechanism. Now this is the most important part. If the writer instance fail, right? This is a writer and we have only one writer. Okay. Due to the issue on one AZ, one of the reader instance is quickly promoted to be new writer. It is automatic process. You don't need to do anything. It will automatically promoted from reader to writer. This switch happens automatically. Ensure that database stay available within very little downtime. Since the data is always being copied to the reader instance, there is no data loss when switch over. So there is no data loss because it is already replicating real time. So just reader will change its designation from reader to writer. Okay, so this is automated process. Now, handling read traffic. As you know that write operations, only write instance can handle this, and read operations, all 3 instances can handle this, helping you to load make system faster. Now, lower write latency. Now, this point is really very important. I want you to understand, guys, please. Compared to multi-AZ instance deployment, compared to this one, right? It is multi-AZ. Multi-AZ DB cluster provides lower write latency. Means it is actually more efficient in the write operation than the multi-AZ DB instance. Now you may have question, how? This is because replication process between writer and reader instance is more efficient. See, here we have replication as well, right? Whenever you will write anything over here, it is going to replicate with standby instance. So we have this same process here. Replication process is here as well, but it is more efficient in case of multi-AZ DB cluster. How? In multi-AZ DB cluster, the write instance does not need to wait for reader to fully synchronize before moving to the next task. You know, to understand this line, you have to watch previous video. In the previous video, I already explained you through this particular picture, and look at this here. When you write anything onto the primary, it is going to synchronize with secondary, and then it is going to get acknowledged. And once the transaction is confirmed, when you will get transaction is confirmed message or committed message, okay, then it is going to handle another request. So here, when your primary in multi-AZ option, not multi-AZ DB cluster, it is multi-AZ. In multi-AZ, let's say that we got one request. Okay. Now it will handle this. Then it is going to sync with the standby. It will get commit message from there. Then it will handle second request. Right. After getting commit from standby instance, then it will handle second request. Okay. In case of multi-AZ DB cluster, the write instance does not need to wait for reader to fully synchronize before moving to the next task. Okay, it will handle first task, then it will send this to replicate to the reader nodes, then it is going to handle second. It is not waiting for commits from the readers, right? So here we are not actually getting confirmation. We are just directly handling this request. Means writer instance will handle this request. And that's why, because of this, here in the definition I said that a multi-AZ DB cluster deployment is semi-synchronous. Okay, it is not fully synchronous like what we have in multi-AZ. Here we have semi-synchronous, which is actually providing us first performance benefit for a write operation. This makes system faster and more efficient for handling write operation, especially in the high traffic environment. Okay, so keep this in mind. This kind of technical questions they are always asking. Now, let's talk about benefits of multi-AZ instance. The first one, it is having high availability. That's we have in the multi-AZ as well. Increase read capacity. Now, this is the one point. If we are talking about this one, right, Amazon RDS multi-AZ, it is not going to provide us performance benefit. There is no read faster, nothing, because here everything will be handled by only primary instance. It is actually handling read, write, both. Here we have two specifically designated reader instance who is managing read traffic, so read requests, so it will provide you better performance. Lower write latency, I already explained you this over here, why we have lower write latency. So yeah, lower write latency, right? I already explained you. Automatic failover, so if your writer goes down, reader will automatically become writer and it will work automatically. Data durability, you are storing your data into the 3 availability zone, so your data durability will be very high. And cost efficiency for read heavy. If you have read heavy load, if you are getting too many read requests, then it is always good idea to do this. Okay, go with this particular deployment option. Otherwise, it is expensive as well. Okay, but keep this in mind, cost efficiency only when you have read heavy workload. Now, last point of this particular video, downside of multi-AZ DB cluster. See, everyone will talk about plus point, but when you will go for the exam, when you will go for the interview, they may ask you some different type of question, because they are also aware that everybody are talking about plus points. Let's ask him, what are the minus points? In this case, you will be in trouble, right? But you don't need to worry about this. Whenever I'm going to create any video, I am always getting detail about this video from different source. I'm doing lots of research and then I'm creating this particular mind map. So, if you complete this mind map, if you have this mind map and if you watch full video, you will get complete understanding about this, and then you don't need to worry about interview. Even they can ask question from anywhere. Okay, so that's why let's discuss downsides of multi-AZ DB cluster. Sorry, I know that you want to watch full video, but full video is now not available on YouTube. If you want to watch full video, I want you to go to our website. When you will go to our website, you will find out our course 100 Days YouTube Challenge. I want you to enroll for this course by paying only 499 rupees for lifetime if you are from India. If you are from outside of India, you just need to pay $7 US. Once you will enroll to this course, you are going to get all full videos over there on our portal. You are also going to get certificate after completing the course, and we have just uploaded 120 videos. We are going to upload another 120 videos as well. So there will be total 240 videos. I hope we are going to meet inside the class. Thank you very much.